Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Darren. Today I'll be talking about how can World of Warcraft be improved from an article I found on MMO Champ, which sparked me to want to make this discussion. Pretty much, Blizzard got interviewed by Game Reactor during Gamescom, and they themselves talked about the employees as well as the devs. How could the game be improved? What is the vision of Legion? What is the vision for the future of World of Warcraft? And what do they think players want out of World of Warcraft? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Before I go on with the video, Census the Rogue, if you guys watch my channel, you know who Census is. I'm pretty sure every rogue out there knows who Census is. Quite a while ago, he did change his YouTube channel from one to another. Down in the description, I'll have a link for you guys to his main YouTube channel where he's currently posting all of his PvP content. So if you guys haven't subscribed to that channel, be sure to hit a subscribe to get your daily dose of Census. Now let's get on to the video on how I think World of Warcraft could be improved. First thing I think they should add is give people a reason to go back to old zones, as well as retexture them. What if they gave people a reason to go back to Pandaria, TBC, Wrath, or maybe even any of the vanilla leveling areas? Put some kind of a daily quest hub, or more rare mobs that only cap level players can see, and give them different rewards, whether the people choose to be PvP or PvE rewards. I don't know how gear and everything will really work in Legion, but in the current system they could have added some dailies, let's say in Arathi Basin area, or maybe even in Wetlands, where PvPers could get extra honor points and maybe chance for 50 more conquest outside of their cap if they do the dailies. I feel like that would be really cool, and I would love it just because it would give me a reason to go back to those old zones first of all. On top of it, they could retexture those zones if they give players a reason to it. One of the things that could be a problem with this, first of all, maybe too many rewards, too many PvPers get in the area, too many PvEers get in the area, and they are trying to release new zones like with Legion. But after the hype dies down, after everybody explored Legion, it would be cool for players to be able to go back to older zones and be able to do extra jobs and play the game more often. That definitely would get me to play the game a lot more often as I go from zone to zone doing PvP dailies. Another thing that would be an issue is how would questing players that are low level, how would they quest if there's all those cap players hovering over them, ready to do the PvP dailies? The answer would be simple, just phase the area for cap players, so questing players can still keep questing and cap players can get on capping and get on the dailies done. Another thing I think is we should bring more of a good thing. While Mr. Pandaria wasn't the greatest PvP experience or World of Warcraft experience, it definitely brought us at least, I think, 2 arenas and 3 battlegrounds. While those battlegrounds weren't the most amazing thing, Deepwood Gorge was an alright BG. I don't think it did well as an RBG though. I don't think anybody really enjoyed it that much in RBG aspects, although it was an interesting concept to be able to steal your opponent's resources and add them to your own, even if you are losing on bases. Cult Mogu is one of my most favorite BGs, and it introduced a really interesting mechanic of having 4 orb carriers, orbs getting bigger, making the character stronger, but also making him more vulnerable to attacks. The longer you hold the orbs in the middle, the better. Then Silverstar Mines was a cool aspect to be able to roll with a flag. You don't just hold through bases, you roll a cart, and you just gotta stick with that until it gets to the end. While those BGs weren't perfect and not the greatest things in the world, they weren't the same as Arathi Basin or Warsan Gulch that are just so lovable by the community. They were still pretty cool, and the fact that they had them in the game, I thought that was probably one of the best things. They didn't need to be the best thing in the world, they just need to be something new to try for players. Instead, Blizzard ended up throwing a lot of the chips into Ashran, which could have been the coolest experience ever, and everybody would have loved if it was. It just didn't work out. So I feel like they definitely should release more BGs, more game types, rather than throwing all the chips in one pot, unless they know 100% that is what the players want, that is what the community wants, and that is what's going to be the greatest thing in the world. They gotta have it polished if they are going to throw chips for one PvP event. Definitely I would have loved if Blizzard had more BGs, because let's say you have 3 BGs compared to 1 Ashram. Out of 3 BGs, maybe 1 of them would have been loved by the community, and 2 would have been just kind of a side thing. But here with Ashram, it was kind of make it or break it, and it ended up breaking for most players. Third thing, I think they should add a lot more uniqueness to the things that you love to do. Let's say you love to PvP, PvE, maybe even dungeon, maybe even quest, maybe even you're just a completionist to every lore, maybe you love archaeology. I feel like you should be rewarded for the things that you do with unique items. Like let's say as a blacksmith, if you just love blacksmithing, you construct yourself an amazing weapon that only you in the game would have because you got the resources for it, or maybe certain particular people would be the only few to have that piece. I think that'd be interesting. maybe if you're an archaeologist and you end up getting yourself some really cool ancient armor for the race or faction that you play for, I think that'd be very unique. It can look unique as well and have a unique effect, maybe like summon an ancient ancestor to fight by his side for a short time, and is actually very beneficial rather than some NPC that just auto attacks. PvPers, PvE, all these things could have so much more value to them, and it could be very simple and just really cool. I don't know, I just feel like there should be a lot more uniqueness in the game. Maybe have some classes or some players do some crazy quests for their class, spec, whatever, and get really unique abilities that only they can use, while the rest of the crowd just watches and in awe. I feel like that'd be really cool just to have that much uniqueness to your character. Just anything. It can even be cosmetic for the most part. Just anything that makes it stand out. Because back then I remember Towley talking about how back at TBC, if you were the only person with a bulwark of Azeroth back in the day, everybody raveled around you, everybody took pictures on their phones of you standing there with it. You used to just stand outside of Orgrimmar and look cool as all freaking hell with that shield that nobody else could get. I feel like there definitely should be a lot more uniqueness of players asking, oh, how'd you get this? Oh, how'd you get that? Of course, you don't need to make everybody a unique little snowflake, but I just think a lot more uniqueness to the game would spice it up and give people more of an ambition to strive for little things. Maybe somebody wants to be at rank 1 on a server, maybe another person just wants to do a crazy amount of archaeology. You just never know, and I feel like people should be rewarded for the effort to put in. This is some of the things I would want to see in the game, but more importantly, I want to see what you guys think should be added in the game. Leave me a comment below, I definitely want to see what you guys would think. And as I get these ideas together, I think I'm going to post it as a forum on World of Warcraft, seeing what players of the community would want to see, and seeing what the response is. Maybe Blizzard will be able to take a look at some of these ideas, and be sure to vote each other up. The ideas that I voted up the most are going to be more easier seen by me, so if you see other ideas that you enjoy, vote them up, but definitely put on your ideas, guys, and let me know what you think. Again, send us a link in below if you haven't subscribed to his current YouTube channel where he is putting out all his content. Be sure to do that right away. Again, link description below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know what you think. Respond to this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.